Yo gamers, what's up? I actually already did that reaction video. Unfortunately, something with the sound went wrong. So I have to do it again, kind of. It's Horizon Forbidden West official trailer, the State of the Play trailer. It's this one actually. And you can see a bit about the game. But it's actually pre-footage, it's also mixed with cinematics, so we do not really know if what we see is what we get, but knowing Guerrilla, usually it's not too far off in, from reveal to actually to the final game. But I don't know why they call this gameplay, because actually, as far as I can tell, there we go with the gameplay. I'm gonna shorten this a little bit. You guys probably watched it already. I just wanted to let you know what I think about it. So, the game in general looks good, but there are issues, in my opinion. And those issues stem from unrealistic lighting conditions and fake lighting, because they designed it so that it runs on the PlayStation 4 as well as on the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 4 obviously does not support advanced technologies or really newly released technologies, etc. The hardware is simply way too old. So a lot of the elements of the world are wrongly lit, of course, because they are not ray traced, and I don't think that they use anything to replace that, like Lumen. So there are plants and everything that just look wrongly lit. Do they look beautiful? Sure, they look beautiful. They are fantastically textured. They are nicely tessellated. You have some tessellation effects going on. We're also looking at the PlayStation 5, so we're looking here at the best version of the game and not the PlayStation 4 version, which will look even worse in the lighting department and in the overall image quality department. So
more machines. Better go under.
Of course, the art design, etc. is beautiful. That's not a question, but it just doesn't look realistic. The character lighting also doesn't look realistic. They always have this, fake kind of placed light, rear shine or side shine on the characters. I really don't think that's a great decision, and I think they really should reverse that. Yeah. So this part is heavily carried by the music, actually. So they use music to the fullest effect. I don't think that this is a dynamic AI-controlled music system. It's actually made in post. So they try to polish the whole experience up by providing divine kind of like Hollywood background music that gives you a false impression, basically. Because if you look at this seaweed, please do not tell me that you think it looks realistic. You can say that it looks beautiful, it looks fine, whatever, but don't tell me that this looks realistically lit, because this is just not how anything in the universe behaves lightning-wise. It just doesn't look realistic, in my opinion. There is no self-shadowing, etc. It looks flat and fake, unfortunately. So I'm pretty harsh here. I don't say the game will be bad or anything like that. It's also not a finished product, but I have to say what I think about those decisions, and it just looks crap. And that will look probably crap forever, because they have to make this run on a PlayStation 4, which is literally almost 10 years old now. The hardware in it, so...
Oh, don't mind me. Current's strong here.
A lot of the elements that you see here they will not be present in the PlayStation 4 version, of course. No big surprise there, but the volumetric lightning, if in the game at all, will have horrible quality and sampling rates, sampling sizes, basically.
I have friends, okay?
Often the lightning, unfortunately, looks like somebody would be behind Aloy with a camera light. You know, somebody like in her vicinity, which is always trying to light her from somewhere. That's not how light works in reality, unfortunately. Okay, maybe they do not want to have it look realistic, but to be honest with you, everything else, they try to make it realistic. The palm trees especially I have an issue with, because they just look crap. There's no self-shadowing. Again, on none of those plants there is any significant self-shadowing or any significant proper realistic lightning going on. And I really have an issue with that. And I know where it comes from. It's like, if this game would be a PS5 exclusive, that wouldn't be the case. I think.
I'm not just the ones you slaughtered. But when they come looking for me, there's gonna be trouble.
My question would be, can I write this thing myself? Because we know that she can write with a lot of, you know, bigger animals now, but can I write this thing, please?
You guys wouldn't be laughing if I had my hammer.
Enough! Get moving!
In the last game, a lot of the enemies had really weak personalities or no personality. And there was also, in my opinion, maybe I missed it, but they didn't really take enough care to provide like a logical story arc for the bad guys in the game. Like, why are they so miserable asshole people? I don't know, like human society usually doesn't, it just doesn't run that way. Those people would be shunned by everybody, nobody would trade with them. They're fucking meanies, they're like a group of bullies. I don't think that people like that would have a realistic chance of survival in any post-apocalyptic environment, to be honest with you. Again, the lightning looks pathetic. I played a bit too much Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition with all the ray tracing on Ultra, I guess. Because like it just looks all a bit too fake to me. I also don't understand why Digital Foundry, they were, you know, saying too much good things about that, to be honest with you. Also, you know, this is like, those are the shadows, I guess, from the trees. But this is all just messy. And there is no real shading going on because they have to save on GPU power for the PlayStation 4. Sad.
I gotta help Erend. Deal with that tremor tusk.
Now we have two gifts for Regalla. A tremor tusk and a loudmouth Oseram.
Which one's uglier?
Loot the camp. Make it look like bandits were here. Then we'll head for the old bridge and meet up with the others.
Will do.
Yeah, got it.
This must be Erend's camp. Raiders made short work of it.
I think the stealth mechanics will be totally lackluster again.
Filthy Oseram.
Like, Those villains, they're so villainous that they even call the dead animals on the beach names. Like, I mean, is this written by fucking kids?
You out.
I also really dislike the glowing effect on the enemies now that they implemented that. I don't know why they're doing it. Why do you have to make everything glow instead of, you know, just make it destructible? That's fine, but don't make everything glow for fucking no reason. The game is anyway way too easy, I guess. So why do you have to make that glow? I get it, okay, she has that little device on her head, and therefore you could explain it in the lore, but that doesn't mean that you have to do it, and just because you do it with the big dinosaur machines, and that kind of makes sense, but even there, I wouldn't see it necessary. I hope they make some option where you can deactivate all this glowing crap.
You think you can hurt?
Instead of taking a book out of games like Dark Souls and make it just like a teeny little bit more challenging, I see this as like super low difficulty, extremely low difficulty, where it's like, I mean, there's just no challenge in this. Is supposed to be a big guy, like he's just not that much of a menace or threat to me, in my opinion. I would be totally relaxed and not really under stress in this case. Like, the music tries to tell you that, but he wouldn't do it for me. And on top of that, they make it even more easy by those new fucking things that you can just like pop in at any time. The guy was just about to smash Aloy, and then she's coming and popping in that thing, and oh, sorry, time stops. I'm gonna make a dance move and put that thing in, and then I'm gonna kill you with it. It's...
Yeah, I do. All right.
Classical case of giving the protagonist way too much power and the enemies way too little power, in my opinion. I know I'm talking a lot of bad stuff about the game, and I don't even think that it will be a bad game. I like some of the Guerrilla games. I don't think that this is their strongest, though. It was a lot about the, ooh, ah, that looks incredible, you know. It did, but was it the greatest open world game of all time? No, it was actually a little bit dragging in some parts of the game, and I don't know, way too easy, no challenge at all in this case. I hope they put a proper challenge overall in the game and not just some optional shit which is ridiculous, you know, like really difficult. This part, it just doesn't intimidate me. Like, everybody could kill him. She's totally overpowered. She has a bow, she has her stick, she can stop him at any point. She's fucking OP.
Back to the hunt. Raiders said they were heading for the old bridge. Maybe I can cut them off.
Yeah, vegetation looks quite beautiful, but all over the place, wrongly lit. And I can see that. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see that this is not how it would look in real life. As I said, I'm a bit spoiled by ray tracing at the moment, but still.
Better get to higher ground, find a way. There's the bridge.
Artistically, of course, it's a complete other story. Like, it is beautifully made. Like, a lot of the machines look absolutely stunning. Some of the characters look also quite good, but I don't know if they're like really like next gen. I'm not too sure about that. But it's a beautifully made game. The concept drawings for this game will also, I'm sure, they will be very beautiful overall. The designers did a great job. I think it's not enough hardcore or, you know, too much made for the mass to appeal to even the most stupidest person on the planet. He would still enjoy that game. And therefore it cannot be too deep. There cannot be any kind of leaps in evolution. There will be probably no deeper role-playing elements in the game as well, which I find sad. Because there is some potential there. I would make a role-playing game out of this. Or at least enhance those elements of the game. The law would enable it, I guess.
I think I know a way to get there fast.
And this part also looks incredibly scripted to the teeth and extremely linear.
Gotta be careful.
Again, like, there's absolutely zero skill needed in taming that beast now. Yeah. Oh, that was so hard. Oh my god, you had to press a button and that's it? That seems incredibly hard. How should anyone, you know, that's an achievement. That's an achievement. So it's like, okay, you reach that level, then you can just take this machine, and there is no significant threat again. That's an issue, okay? If there is no threat, then why would I bother? It's just like a kind of, why not make a movie in this case if there is no real threat to the gamer, to the player?
That should do it.
Took literally 2 seconds. You had to do nothing for it. There was no real stealth involved. She just rendered. It was like scriptedly placed there for her. You must be absolute brain dead to not being able to do that.
Help's on the way, Erend.
So, admittedly, it's quite cool that you can ride on those bigger dinos, but then if you think about games that did that before, they made it an extreme challenge to achieve that. It just doesn't look that way. It looks like sneak up to the dino, wait until he's turning his back to you, and then press a button. That's... I want to do that, to be honest with you. That's like... pointless. Totally pointless. Why do you do it in the first place? Then you could just like... fucking whistle, and he should just like, oh, okay, it's the magic whistle. I have to obey the orders of my master with the magic whistle. That would be as interesting gameplay-wise as like going there and pressing on a button. Sorry, but I have to be honest here. Come on. Like, also those games, they often tend to get overrated. I would give the first Horizon Zero Dawn definitely not more than 80 out of 100, or even less. I would probably rate it a nice 75% out of 100%. And that's being generous, to be honest with you. So, I played through the game, and I don't play through any game, but it was a decent tech showcase, and a good first game for a new IP. Nothing mind-blowing, nothing earth-shattering, apart from really beautiful graphics. It was, I think, my first PlayStation 4 game when I just bought my PlayStation 4. Cool. I was happy with that, but it didn't blow me away. It was not like, you know, an impactful gaming experience such as Half-Life 2 or Metal Gear Solid 1 or something like that. When I played that, I was really shaken by the experience. That didn't happen with Horizon Zero Dawn 1. And that's why it was way too casual for the most part, and not deep enough for the other.
Aloy?
Aloy! Watch out! They have a... Nemesis!
Aaron, stay put!
Because she's such a incredibly OP game character, I'm sure that it will be no problem.
I'll handle this!
I have her!
Got ya!
Auto aim enabled.
Man down!
Fire cannon! Gotta keep moving.
Bring us around!
Taking course! Fire now! That must have hurt! Fire! Fall back! I have to stay ahead of it! Gotta slow you down! Fire that thing!
I mean, there have been stuff which you could use to slow down dinos in the first game. They were just not like this glue stuff, I think, as far as I remember. So that's like really not a novelty. And we see absolutely no reflection technology used here. I mean, there is water. Usually water's reflected.
here he comes.
Not in this way.
Bring us around!
Time to hit back.
Get me an aim!
We're under fire!
It looks so scripted, guys. Sorry.
Oh, didn't like that, did you? Time to finish this.
So the monster gets up in position for the following cutscene. It's like, how obvious can you make that you scripted it to the teeth? Sorry. Like, I know everybody will hype out on that game as always, even the guys from Digital Foundry, because they always do. I mean, they were major league responsible for the Cyberpunk debacle, because they hyped it into heavens and they said it's the most amazing game without mentioning any bugs. They said it's incredible, da-da-dee-da-da-da. It's one of the shittiest games ever. It's super short, broken ass, it has great elements, and some people did some amazing work in this game, but overall it's a shit fest, and it's like, it was released 3 years before it was due, and everybody was like hyping it up, including those big outlets. And I can tell you that this looks beautifully designed and will not be a bad game. We're talking about a serious developer here, but it's so casual, incredibly casual, unrealistically lit, bogged down by a cross-platform release on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. It looks for me like a PlayStation 4 game with slightly better lighting and volumetric lighting. You can tell me what you want. Vegetation is beautiful, but wrongly lit, not up to date, not state of the art in any way. The only thing which is state of the art is the art design. That's really, really good. And other than that, I take it as, I think they're going to make a mediocre game, to be honest with you. It's not going to be the best game of all time. For me, at least, it will probably be a mid-tier kind of game, which is fine, which is great, maybe even cool to have if you have a PlayStation 5, but not the same as the first game. The first game was a graphical benchmark that looked better than most PC games at the time, and this looks certainly much worse than modern PC games. Battlefield 2042 was just dropped, and it just looks 100 times better than this because it's using the most up-to-date state-of-the-art technology that you can get for graphics and sound, and they don't, and that's why it's worse in those regards, like technologically and even artistically. It's just bogged down by a PlayStation 4 release, and that's pretty much all I have to say. But feel welcome to put something down in the comment section below. I'm sure there will be tons of people which are not of the same opinion, which is fine, but I don't think it will be the greatest game of all time, and there are some things in the trailer, at least, that I don't think look that great, to be honest. Gameplay-wise, it will have shallow, sneaky passages and stealth in general. It will have mostly, almost, no real challenge to offer for most gamers. It will be designed so that even a 55-year-old boomer can play through that game without ever having to check Google and so forth. To be honest with you, I'm slightly unimpressed and underwhelmed by a lot of the things that I saw, ranging from lightning, some artistic decisions. Not overwhelmed. I just couldn't say that I'm overwhelmed. It will be just another action open world game, which is way too easy and not challenging, but kind of beautiful. And yes, you can probably play it, but I took ages for Zero Dawn, simply because it didn't grip me that much. The world was too shallow. The enemies, especially, the enemy design and the enemies were intensely shallow. They had absolutely no character. I don't care about them. I didn't care about them. The machines look cool, for sure. And some of the combat was challenging in that game, but that was mostly optional content. Don't know, guys. Probably I'm upsetting some people, but let me know in the comment section below. Also hit that like button if you liked the video. If you didn't, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to get notified. I'm going to come up with quite a lot of those game trailer reactions in the next days. So if you want to see more of that stuff, if you enjoyed it, that's obviously my subjective opinion, and it may very well be that this will be the greatest open world game of all time. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I can just go from what I see here, and what I see here is like underwhelmingly mediocre in some parts and looks pretty decent in other parts, etc. I think it will be somewhere in the middle, but not one of the greatest games ever designed by humanity. Peace out, guys. Cheers.